This is a short descriptive video about a Japanese, very quirky, 60s styled flip clock. It's not an alarm clock, it's just a flip clock. It's got a rhythm movement and it was labelled, sold by, commercialized by Citizen. You can see here. The casing is a little bit on the rough side. I still decided to restore it because I love the shape of the clock, basically. I love the fact that the flaps are blue, the front is blue. The casing was very yellowed. I brought it back to life, kind of, sort of. It's not perfect yet, but I decided to stick with it the way I got it after one treatment, because the clock is never going to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's old, it's vintage, it has had a life, and it's nice to see that it has had a life. You know, if it could speak, it would have nice stories to tell, probably. Very interesting, of course, because the clock is from Japan, so maybe it would speak Japanese, but even if it were to speak English, it would have some interesting stories to tell. Nonetheless, it's a nice, quirky shaped clock. It's not too big. It's not extremely silent. You might be able to hear it, you might not. If not, that's a good thing, because it doesn't make a whole lot of noise as well. Being from Japan, it has a switch on the bottom, making it switchable between 50 and 60 Hertz. So basically I would say this is to use in the US, set to 60 Hertz. It needs 100 to 120 volts. It says 100 volts, but the motor is laid out for 100 to 120 volts. But you could also use it elsewhere, Australia, Europe, whatever you want. Switch it to 50 Hertz and use a regular power transformer for the voltage. As you can maybe see, there's one of the 4 screws missing. Actually there are 5. There are 4 screws to attach the clockwork itself to the casing, and there's one missing. It doesn't affect the clock, none whatsoever. Actually, I did check my stock, I didn't find a fitting screw. I just left it like this because the clockwork is attached as well as it can be with 3 screws. One other thing that I do have to mention, and you will hardly notice it, but I will just scroll through the numbers there. There was one tile missing. It wasn't just broken off, but it had gone. So obviously I have a large amount of spare parts, spare clocks for parts, etc. So I found one. It's not blue, it's black. That's it. So 2 minutes every hour you will see it. 1 minute at the top, 1 minute at the bottom. Here you set the time. No other functions, no other buttons, no cable, new plug. I soldered in a new light with a new resistor, etc, etc. So everything is safe to use and everything works 100%. Thank you for watching.